So here we go with graphing ordered pairs on the plane. Let's start with the ordered pairs on the left over here. Series of 4 ordered pairs we have. What we mean by ordered pairs is we're going to have a set of parentheses. We are going to have an apostrophe in the middle. We are going to have an x value on the left. We are going to have a y value on the right. And the reason that we're ascribing x and y in this case is because if we come over and have a look at the plane itself, which is this grid on the left-hand side, we have an x-axis and a y-axis. And that means that all the numbers horizontally on the x-axis represent the x value, and all the values on the vertical axis, the y-axis, represent the y value. So all we need to do is, if we're looking at our first ordered pair here, which is 2, 3, we need to extract the x value, which is positive 2, come over and take a look here on the x-axis and find ourselves the point that is positive 2. So there's the 2 value on the x-axis, and then we come back and we take a look at the y value. It's positive 3, which means from our 2 value here for the x, we have to move up 3 units in the positive y direction, which represents positive 3. So what we have located here with the blue dot is a point that has a value of 2 and 3. A x value of 2, because here it is, the x value of 2 represented on the x-axis, and the y value of 3, positive 3, represented on the y-axis. Okay, quickly, let's take a look at another one here. 5 and negative 2, the second in our series. 5 is the positive x value, so we move over 5 in the positive x direction, which appears to be right about here on the x-axis. Negative 2 in the y direction means that we move down into the negative territory on the y. Down in y is a negative move. To the left in x is a negative move. So we're going to make a negative move of 2 units in the y direction, and we end up with a point down here in this second quadrant that has a value of positive 5 for x and a negative 2 for y. All right, I think we're getting the hang of this. Let's have a look at the third one, negative 8 and 7. Okay, well, we're starting with the x value, negative 8, but we need to come into negative territory for this x value, which is well over here on the left-hand side of our plane, but we move 7 in the positive direction for y, which locates us up at about this point here. This corresponds, if we go horizontally across, to the 7 for y, and if we drop down vertically, corresponds to the negative 8 for x. And finally, since we want to visit each of the 3 quadrants, we have minus 3 and minus 9. We take a quick trip now 3 units over in the negative direction in x, and then we drop down a full 9 units into the negative direction in y, which locates us a point right about here. And we would label that minus 3, minus 9, and to be thorough, we include each of these. Anytime we throw out an ordered pair on the plane here, we're just going to include the ordered pair in parentheses because that is the format for that. And that's all it takes to graph ordered pairs on the plane. That's how we find points. And once we work this out, we're in great shape for doing all sorts of other magical things here. So graphing ain't such a big deal.